All right, we're live. Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with my brother in Arizona, JR. How you doing, JR?
I'm doing
Gus is
okay.
Gus in has transitioned from houselessness, and we spoke to him once before, and I wanted to find out more. Um, let's see. So we went into your background last time. Do you want to say any more about your background that they don't know?
I don't know why.
Well, let me think. I think everybody knows that you stayed in your car for about 9 months as a result of something about um, you were a caregiver and your client um disappeared to the other side.
In the past.
Passed, yes. And you wound up having to wait for housing on a an expedited list that they supposedly said was expedited. I want to find out more about how you think it would have happened had you not been gay.
I think it would have moved faster. Um, she, I don't know, she just seemed different to me. My case manager at Primavera, she was the main lady, and then she kept passing me off to everybody else. Like she didn't want to be bothered
So she
and
was an
avoiding,
individual.
yeah, avoiding direct contact with me. So,
Oh, God.
and I went, the first lady I went to, Jeanette, she knew more than the other one did. So she helped me a great deal. And then the financial lady knew twice as much. I mean, I barely met Danelle when I talked with was interviewed by the financial department. I barely
Yeah.
met them. And I'd been there with them since September, and this was like February.
When was the time that they finally made real contact with you? Like, how many months did it take for that to actually happen?
It took about 2 months before they contacted me back and said anything about meetings or anything.
So, other people who would have been met immediately,
And
you,
there were two men along with me. We passed all the first hurdles, and they were
mhm.
placed right away.
That was
And
awful.
here I was setting in lingo, I guess because I had a car and I was safe in the car, but it wasn't that safe.
Can you tell me more about tell us more about the situation it was when you were in your car? I know we didn't talk about that very much last time.
I had individuals try to get in my car while I was sleeping, and I couldn't reach my knife fast enough one night, and the guy was right in my face. He could have cut my throat easy. And I
What
just
did you do?
I just yelled at him, "Get out of my car and get your hands off my junk," because he had his hands down my pants. So I don't know what that was about, but he said it's a cold night, and I was just checking. No, you don't need to
So
check anything.
he
Get out.
he had his hands. Were they in your pants before you woke up?
Yes, that's what woke me
Oh,
up was him sliding his hands in my pants. And
oh God.
so some people say he was checking to see if I was a female or a male. Others say no, he was just gay himself and he was trying to arouse
Mhm.
me. But
Oh God. Wow. And were there? I remember you telling me there were more such incidents, not
yeah,
quite as close of a call as a life-threatening incident, but quite a few other incidents.
yeah. Um, there was a character named Baby Foucault or Gilbert Jr. and he seemed okay. He would talk to me at length, but then he started lurking around my car and watching watching me sleep, which was very uneasy.
How many times did he do that?
Lots. Most
Lots.
of the time that I was parked on that property. He'd come out at 3 o'clock in the morning and stand there looking at me.
And let's make it clear to the audience that you had full permission to be on that property by the property managers and the owners of that property.
Yes,
They're completely knowing your situation
right.
and understanding it very well.
Right.
And
Well, they were in actuality the ones who put me in the predicament because
so they,
had they let me remain there, I was eligible for HUD, but not maybe eligible for that place without having a second person. But they could have let me stay until the rent was due the following month because the rent was
Mhm.
paid up.
Did they refund the rent
No,
that they,
he's dead. Who are they going to refund it to?
so are you saying that they made you leave before the rent paid was,
So I went down and I got the cashier's check under my account because she asked me to, and I took it to the office, paid her rent, and when I came back, that's when 3 days later she passed away.
oh my God. So you wound up leaving the building around the 13th, right?
Right?
Wow. Okay. Wow.
She passed on
Um,
the first. They gave me 10 days to vacate, saying
mhm,
uh, caregivers don't hold the right to a lease and or the property. So I have
mhm.
10 days to vacate.
Right.
That it's going to be hard because I have to wait till I get money so I can start moving her stuff and my stuff. Well, why are you going to move her stuff? Because I inherited it.
You inherited it, and let's make it clear it was in her will too
Yes,
that you were inheriting.
right.
You didn't inherit by default in any case. It
No,
was because she had you as her beneficiary.
you're right.
Mhm.
And um, I spent $1,300 for her cremation, and the rest of another 5,000 of my savings went to moving the stuff out of there, paying for a safe place for the cat and the bird, so they weren't disturbed over people coming in and taking things out and moving.
Let's tell them more about the cat and the bird.
They lived in the car with me, and the bird. When we finally, I had nowhere else to park and feel safe, um, so I went back there after my case managers asked could I be on the property? They said yes, on the property, but not in the house. I never went in the house. So, um,
At least that was a safe place to park,
right. And there was
theoretically.
light so I could see who was coming out to my car and stuff.
Mm,
Most other places will chase you off, even if
right,
you're spending the night. They don't want you on their parking lot.
right. They are accepting responsibility for any liability and your safety, and it seems like they were very kind to you. You had been a very good resident on the
Yeah.
property. How long had you lived there again?
We were signing the 18th lease. So,
Wow, that's
and the
a long
neighbors that were
time.
right in our courtyard, there's a group of um, townhouses, condos, whatever you want to call them, in a group in each section.
Cottages,
Well, they're houses. They're two
houses.
bedroom houses, and,
Uh-huh.
and the middle one was a 3 bedroom.
Uh-huh.
Then you go down the walk, and there were another setup of them in the courtyard, and then you go down around the corner, and there's a whole nother setup of courtyards and housing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, and then wasn't there another incident you told me about that was more violent that seemed
Yes,
to
a friend of mine for 17 years, Margaret, came down one day and she was flying off the handle, and I said, "What is your problem?" She said, "I'm tired of it. You're a pig. You made this mess." I said, "I did not make that mess. My stuff is in my car in a bag
She
waiting.
was
You see it?
right.
When I leave, I change my cat box in the dumpster and I throw trash in there. I don't throw it on the ground. You need to talk to Gilbert. Maybe
And
put
I remember you saying that somebody else was making the messes in order to
I
make it
said,
look
I
like it
don't
was
care
you.
who's doing it, but you're guilty by being here and you let her die. And I said, I didn't let her die. I got her appropriate care. But
She
they took
means she meant your friend.
yes.
Uh,
So and she said, and you shouldn't have anything. That car should not be yours. I said, I paid for it. So what are you
oh,
talking about, lady? Get away
right.
from me. She started
Right.
swinging her shovel at me in my car and
That's uncalled
stepped
for.
out of my
That's
car. I said, back the hell off of me and leave me alone.
right.
We used to be friends. And all that stuff you got in the end came from me. It didn't come
Right.
from Jan. She was
Right.
dead already.
Right. Because you had inherited it by rights.
Right. And she said, well, you shouldn't have. I should have. And I said,
Uh,
no, because next in line after me was my niece, Gina. Then third was
uh,
you. And then final was Billy. So you two weren't even counted in on getting anything.
right.
So,
So she was there in the lease. I mean, in the will at some point.
no, she was listed as, um, what is it called? Medical power of attorney durable.
Really?
As durable, it lasts beyond the death of the person. It's just medical power of attorney that dies with the person. But
Hmm.
durable means it's beyond, so you can handle their affairs. And
Was that you or was that this
that,
woman?
that was me. I was number one. My niece Gina was number two, if I couldn't do it. And then this woman, Margaret, was number three if neither one of us could do it. And then her
Hmm.
brother Billy, her last
Hmm.
sibling, was final. Her son wasn't ever mentioned. No one. So she did not want to leave it to kin because they would be legally responsible for any debt she had made. And she had quite a large debt.
Oh. So it's something about your state laws
Yeah.
required
Next
that.
of kin is required to pay if the estate doesn't have the worth of the debt. Then next of
Right.
kin must come up with that money.
Very interesting. Now, I'm curious about uh, whether you think more happened because of also not only your sexual orientation, but your ethnic group, your ethnicity.
I think so. I mean, I've faced that kind of thing with Arizona all along. Uh,
And what is your ethnic group? Let's just make it.
I am a Cherokee Nation member, so I am a Cherokee Indian.
Ah, very a you've been there tens of thousands of years.
Well, not in Arizona. Well, we do have small groups here in Arizona, but our main group is in Oklahoma.
So, but what I mean is that you're indigenous.
Yes,
So, you've been
yes,
on this continent
yep.
far longer than anybody else.
But yet I faced comments from food stamps and Medicaid about why don't you go back to your people and they can take care of you. Number one, I wasn't born there. Number two, yes, my grandmother has land there. Am I supposed to go and kick a cousin off who's lived there all their life because I'm entitled? I'm sorry, we don't see things like that. There's no such thing as entitlement.
My jaw is on the floor because
That,
I had not
that came
known
from
that.
the state of Arizona, DES.
And
The one
more
who told
than
me that.
one place. You say the,
Food stamps and Medicaid.
oh my God,
They both told me it.
why
If
did they
you're
do that?
the Cherokee Nation, go back to your people. They have hospitals and care. and they can provide you with food.
Oh God.
I don't get it. I never lived there. I
Right?
visited. My grandmother lived there. My parents were born off the res, so
Mm-hmm.
they're from Pueblo.
And does Arizona have, being in California and a city girl, I don't know very much about this. Are there many Native Americans in your area? Like, is there a very significant percentage of people that are Native?
There's the Tohono O'odhams and the Yaquis.
Mhm.
So, and then 200 miles away, roughly, is the San Carlos Apaches. Go up the mountain,
Oh,
there's the White
okay.
Mountain Apaches. But they,
Uh-huh.
none of them are liked by the state at all.
Welcome, viewer. We've got a viewer here.
Hi,
Hi there. We're talking about my brother JR is in Arizona and he has just been transitioned from houselessness to an apartment. And we've been talking about his experience, um, which has been cluttered with extraordinary experiences. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to say to that person, whoever it was.
and the thing that upsets me the most is, and it's still there, um, in the law books way back when we were territory, there is a law still there that says anybody who brings in a male Apache scout gets $100. Anyone who brings a child or woman scout, that's $50 each. It's still there. There's also another law that says if any three or more natives are gathered together at any outing, anything, they're to be considered dangerous and at war with the state of Arizona and to be apprehended at all costs.
Oh my God. So it's legalized
Yeah,
discrimination.
yeah. But they
Wow.
haven't used them in years. But why are they still there?
They're unenforceable probably is my guess. I'm not an attorney and I have never studied the law, but it
Yeah,
sounds like
but
something that
they're pulling out laws that were from 1890s and
right,
reenacting them, so making them legal. Talking
right,
about Trump and his allies. So
right, right. Wow. Well, I wanted to ask you about the term ally. I just heard it this afternoon. Is it true that if I'm straight and you're gay and I am in favor of you, that I'm your ally? Is that what they call us?
um, I forget the term that we call people, but you are an ally
An
because
ally.
you're comfortable in your own skin and you're not worried about our taking over or doing any damage.
But
And
yeah, I've
that's the
never.
biggest problem in most hate crimes I see, is that it comes from individuals who are not comfortable with themselves or they're irritable,
Yes,
and it leads to violence.
I agree with that. I wonder if you have a message to the viewers that you'd like them to know based on what you've learned through this experience. How would you
I
call?
can't say have a backup plan because I thought I did. I was working on $5,000. That was close to deposit for getting just um, an RV, a little single RV. We could have both been in there and just traveled around. And
Hmm.
then I wouldn't have lost my home. I would be in it. But that didn't happen that way.
Hmm.
Life has
Eh,
surprises. Always be ready for them.
what did you do you think that you would have done things differently had you known what was going to happen?
I don't see how I could have. I mean, I knew that eventually she was going to die. I didn't think it was going to be that fast.
Hmm.
But, I mean, I was already stockpiling as much money as I could. So, in case I was forced into
Well,
having
that was no small amount,
to add some
right?
money to get
That was
out,
no small
get
amount.
something done, and
Right.
housing. All they wanted was leave her stuff. We'll go through it and determine what we're going to do with it. So that's not
Wow.
your choice, and that's not your choice. She already said how she wants it handled. So
She had a son as well, from what I recall. You said that there was an inheritance that she was supposed to have received, and was it her
yeah,
son or her brother that took it away? And
it was her
so,
brother.
oh, so there was a lack of funds on her part
Well,
that might not have happened.
her brother Sid passed away, and she wanted him, or he wanted her to be set and not be ever needing money. So he left her full amount of his bank stuff. So, and the other brother that survived, Billy, uh, gave her one half and made the comment to Margaret that, well, I'm only giving her half because I'll store the other half and hold it for her because we know how Leanne is. She'll spin right through it.
That turned out not to be true, didn't it?
We never gave it to her.
So it could have helped you quite a bit because you spent your own money to
Yes.
cremate her and to move her things, which should
I,
have
I was
been.
spending my own money in the house even for bills and stuff because she was going hog wild with her credit cards and they were always demanding payments. And when she passed away, I got a statement from Amazon Prime that said she owed more than $6,000,
Wow.
and that's only one of them.
Wow. Do you think that you lost opportunities because of this experience? For example, had the homelessness and houselessness not occurred, um, would you have had what would you have been doing?
Um, my goal was to buy the RV, not the big huge land yachts. I just wanted one that has a truck front and then sleeps one or two people. You don't need a whole big old lot, land yacht. Those are hard to drive too. So
Hmm.
I figured, well, I could tow with a tow bar my car behind, park it somewhere, and then drive the car like into town and stuff, and take her traveling.
Hmm.
Enjoy her last of her life.
Hmm. She
And
was your friend for 40 years, what I
yes,
recall.
my best friend.
Oh.
We used to tease each other that she was my bag hack, and that's a good term. It's not a slang or a slang.
I have been referred to as a
It
fag
means
as
that they are
well.
people that are comfortable around gay men, and not always are they trying to change them to be straight. They're just more comfortable in groups of them.
I have been told that in my part of town that a fag hag is a woman that is overweight that has friends that are male and gay. And oh sorry, that's my cat feeder. I have another one I have two cat feeders that are going to go off in a minute. And I, I also wonder whether there was some discrimination. That do people see natives as being more willing to live in RVs and portable homes than non-native people?
No, because if you Google most all nations now have their own websites. Google it. See the housing that they're given and
Mm-hmm.
what they live in. Some are broken windows, broken walls. It's pitiful. And so for them to want to go back to what they originally lived in, it's
Mm-hmm.
a lot more sturdy of a house than what they're offering them. And it's not just the main government, it's their own government. Sometimes you get corrupt leaders. A good chief doesn't worry about taking all the profits or all the stuff for himself. He gets all the stuff to pass out to his people. That's a good
Right.
chief.
Wow. So, how would you characterize yourself in terms of, say, okay, um, your sexual orientation is that you're gay, your ethnic group is that you are Cherokee, Um, would you call yourself a good example, a typical example of somebody who is gay and Cherokee in your situation in your age group right now?
Probably. I'm also an elder of the nation, so um, I sit on the Council of Elders. I sit on the Council of Women because of being a two spirit. We're not called gay because it's not about the sexual activity, it's about the spirits coming together and becoming one.
So
Yes,
you're
I
a two spirit.
no, I'm a two spirit.
I'm a
So,
wind spirit, right?
right, right. And
I think
so,
I'm okay being a wind spirit. How
eh,
do the two spirit parts ever argue with each other?
yes. Well, because I see both the woman's aspect or way of seeing things and I see the men's. And they don't always work together. And that was what
One
we were told is Creator made us. We're the only ones like him because he's the two spirit too. He has both male and female. So
ah.
he has both paths. And we're told that we were sent to teach them how to love,
Mhm,
how to
mhm.
respect one another.
Wow. So, is there anything else that you'd like the viewers to understand, given what you've learned, and as well as your being an elder? What would you say to, let's say, let's say you and I are of the baby boomer and the Gen X uh, generation. What would you say to Gen Zers and
You
whatever they
can't
call
talk
the
to them.
next one?
You can't talk to them. We can't even reach them. They're very difficult.
Are
Um,
they?
but what I would say to them is, if you see someone hungry, I don't care what any government says about don't do this, don't feed them, don't give them this. It's illegal. It is not illegal to show kindness. It is not illegal to be humble. And if you've got more than enough, then share. There's no need for stinginess, greed. You'll turn out like Mr. Trump if you're that greedy.
True. I myself have been homeless in the past, and that's what we called it when I was going through the experience. We didn't say the same as now. Houselessness is different from homelessness.
Right.
And I felt to myself that it was not just houselessness in my case because I had a poverty of the soul. And I will say that I had a friend who was very generous. She was the executive director of a local animal placement society, and she would let me come and stay on her sofa or occasionally, or at least take showers at her place. So I would call up and say, "Yo, may I take a shower?" Sure. And she'd
I
open
finally
her
got my
door.
house situated a little, so I will be showering my first shower since I've lived here.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Because I've got my
Yes.
shower chair and everything. And so I'll
Yes. And
save
it
some
took
of
a
this off
while.
and be cleaned up.
Right. Right. And we've had to, oh gosh, that's something I can share a little bit about too, is that, being a woman and the sanitary pads were very hard to handle and come by because I was staying in my car at the time. And I know that you had similar difficulties because you had certain medical issues,
Right.
and that it just doesn't make it's not like, oh, I got a house today, I can take a shower tonight. It's not like that. we
No,
have to take we There is money involved. You have to be able to afford the gasoline to get to and from the storage where the things are stored and to bring them over, and then to have the manual labor to have people who help you to bring it, and then to every single step of the way that we would take for granted, people who are housed will take for granted. We don't know that it takes who's going to help me. And when I've also noticed that when you have a certain amount of money, people think they want 100% of whatever you mention you have.
right. That's true. But also, there's organizations that offer homeless people showers. They're not warm
Mhm.
showers; they're cold.
Oh,
There's no hot water heater put to it. You're getting the hose. That's
I
it.
did not know that. I
And
was
it's got
lost.
7 minutes to do it. It takes me longer to get undressed and then to shower and then get redressed after drying off. I
Right.
would be way past that.
Right. You have medical issues, so that keeps you from being able to move quickly.
Right.
So you're just, that if you carry a handicap placard, I'm sure they're supposed to make uh, you know, what's the word for it? Accommodation for
Well,
you.
the one on the south side really doesn't care. They want you to do their intake, become part of their church, and if you're not willing to, then they're not willing to help you. They
Um,
told me I could take a quick shower, I could not wash clothes there, but I could eat lunch and then get my dinner and take it and go.
did they give you problems because you were two spirit?
They didn't know. I didn't go through their intake. I just asked them. My case managers were setting up places that I could check into, and they had talked to them before about
See.
needing a shower, needing food, and
Yeah.
they just blew me away. But this is a church, and they're like, if you're not willing to. But then that falls back to why my grandmother was a Baptist and my mother was a Methodist, because missionaries wouldn't help the natives, give them food, blankets, or clothing, unless they were willing to, um, is it called inoculate and indoctrinate?
It become indoctrinated.
Yeah, into their religion. Their entire family had to.
God, that's
Then they would help you.
then they would help you.
Yeah, and you're lucky if you didn't get Pendleton blankets that had smallpox on them.
Oh, that's right. Right. There have been politics involved about this, and would you have any ideas that you'd like to share about how politics could change, in what direction politics need to change in order to make things easier?
It's not ever going to happen. It just won't. Because they would have to admit that they were wrong in the first place in creating genocide against my people, who were willing to share the land, willing to teach them how to live off the land, and all they saw was greed and what they wanted. And God forbid if they ever saw gold or someone found gold, then they just would come run the Indians off or kill them.
That's where I live. I live in San Francisco, and
Yeah.
there are no natives that I have very rarely met. I I can say that in my 60 years I have never met a native of the area.
Most of the
I
natives out there long ago became what is called, what is that, concrete natives. They didn't have reservations. They put them on. They put them in tenements and projects, buildings.
Wow.
They're still native. They're still their people, but they've lost it. They,
So they don't
they
have
took it away
they
and made
look
them
like the
become
rest of us.
right.
I
They made
guess.
them become part of the white society.
So did they intermarry a lot and become part of the white society that way,
Most
or
of that has happened already, and that's another thing. The government is the one who tells each nation they must be one quarter blood to be enrolled in your nation. If they're not, they have to be kicked off the roll. Um,
I I have thoughts about that too.
and it's genocide. Think
It
about it,
is. It is.
because my grandmother was full blood. My on both sides. My grandfather on my dad's side was full blood. My mom's side was three quarter. So there was already some blood loss because of him being Choctaw and French.
Hmm.
Uh,
I wonder if the laws should have changed with each succeeding generation in order to accommodate a white marriage into, so that there
and
could
it
be,
does.
like, let's say
It
one
was.
fourth and then 1/8 and then 1/16. That
Yeah.
would have been fair.
It already does that.
Exactly. That's
I
exactly what
inherited,
it.
my mother inherited one half of her mother and one half of her father. So
Yeah.
I inherit one half of my mother and one half of my father, which the
Right.
line is stronger on my father's side than my
Right.
mother's. But because we're Cherokee, we follow the mother, not the father.
Oh, that's right. There's a matriarchal society in
Yeah,
Cherokee land. I call it Cherokee land. I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult. But it's a matriarchal society. And
yeah,
in matriarchal societies, the mother's brother has authority over the children rather than the
okay,
father.
yes,
And the father has the authority over his sister's children, but not his wife's children.
right,
That's interesting, right?
right.
That's what I remember. So, any last messages you'd like to share?
Just love one another. You know, you see somebody struggling, help them if you can. If it takes a peanut butter sandwich, we're grateful for a peanut butter sandwich. You don't understand, peanut butter is a protein. It stores very well. So if you can get them a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter and a jar of honey or a jar of jam, give it to them. That'll feed them for
Mhm.
a week
That's true. Yeah.
without
Don't
spoiling.
mix don't mix mayonnaise into it. Just do jam,
No, and
peanut
don't do
butter.
butter
Don't do butter.
because unless you can
Good
keep the
point.
butter cold, it will. Well, if it's good butter and real butter, it's not going to spoil at room temperature. But if you're in a
Right.
car or you're in the sun, it's going to go bad real fast.
That's right. And we're talking about the houselessness of not both you and I have that shared experience, which is that our not having houses included our having cars.
Right.
I was never an unsheltered houseless person. I was always sheltered either in a car or in a women's shelter, a
And
so-called women's
I
shelter.
couldn't do that because I had the cat, and they would come
That's
right up
right. We forgot to talk more about the cat.
and so Bibi was a blessing. She helped me hang in there, and she did finally get
She
me out.
got you your place. If it hadn't been
So
for her, they would have
just
skipped you
overlooked me.
over.
Yeah, they'd already done it
Yeah.
before because the two got
Yeah.
placed, and I was still left in my car.
I'm really sorry you had to experience that. That's sickening. That's really sickening.
And
And do you suppose
they had my senior grant, so
they
they'd
had your
already
senior
collected it.
grant?
Mhm.
They had collected your senior
Yes,
grant and
but
still
they
not
weren't
placed
doing
you?
anything. That's why my
Oh, that's
paper said I was supposed to be in here by April 9th
and
because
what
I
date
was
did you
already
get
set
in?
up May 9th.
May 9th instead of
Yeah,
April 9th. And even then, it was because I asked you if you were planning to get a lawyer involved, and somebody helped you speak up about that.
yeah,
And they said that they were going to encourage you to get an attorney because something funny was going on. So they hustled. This was May 7th, wasn't it? They
yeah,
hustled on May 7th to get you in by May 9th so
yeah.
that it wouldn't look so bad. That's just sickening. I'm really, really, really glad you're housed now. This is my elder brother, you guys. He's my elder brother, and we're kindred spirits. We are siblings in spirit, and I find that I'm very comfortable talking to you about almost anything. You've never heard me flush a
Oh, she
toilet,
bet
but
she does too, people. She talks to me on the telephone all the time, all hours.
it's
She
the
called me
truth.
in the middle of the night wanting to talk, and I'm like, I'm sleeping,
Oh
sis.
yeah. Well, to me, it's 3 in the morning. Hey, I'm up already. Okay. Well, wonderful. Thank you for talking, JR. And it was a pleasure. I hope we can do 20 more of these interviews and we'll
Guys,
find out more.
you guys mark my words. Be kind to each other in this world. It's going to get a lot tougher. So we need to be there for one another, no matter
Yes.
what our race is, no matter what our gender is, no matter what our preference is, we are still human beings.
And no matter what our ages are,
Yes.
you help children too. So
Yeah.
I know that. Okay, well, we'll talk to you again later.
Okay.
And I hope everybody has a great evening. This was a wonderful talk. And talk to you soon. I'll catch you offline.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.